It's time now for the Giant Sports Talk Live Morning Report.
There we go. Welcome into it. Lou, what day is it?
Thursday morning.
All right, you can see why I get all screwed up. Coming back from Hawaii, there was a bit of a time zone that I didn't like there, so I'm
3 hour
kind of like in a
difference.
weird funk. And then, listen, we're wrapping up a 3-game series on a Thursday. I'm used to wrapping these up on a Wednesday and jumping either into a day off or right into a 4-gamer. So this is kind of weird. Anyway, thought I'd start the show. If you're wondering who this is, that is who is he, Lou? I know it's Jung Hoo Lee.
Octopus Pretzel after his most unbelievable slide the other night where he looked like he hurt himself. But he did bounce back yesterday to come back with a couple hits. But, yeah, that was Jung Hoo Lee in game 1 of the series on a slide. I believe it was his 7th or 8th inning where it was ugly slide where we all thought he hurt himself. He even took himself out in the 9th inning of Tuesday's game, but he bounced back last night with 2 hits and pretty excited, Glenn, because a week ago, I never thought I'd be saying this, but we're trying to get the sweep. If you read underneath my name, can we get the sweep? I know you're going to be there in a couple hours at Oracle. It should be a beautiful day. It should be rocking. And of course, we have our ace Webb going against Tyler Glasnow. So we'll see. But that's why we do the morning show, to get everyone excited about the big game today. And that's what it's all about.
Lou, I'll do you one better. You're talking about a sweep? We're talking about sweeping the Los Angeles Dodgers. How about that? Knock them a peg down, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
They got Glasnow going, and we've got Webb. Let's get our synopsis, the pitching matchup, and everything a little bit later on. I started the show because I thought that was God, you bring it. The Octopus Pretzel. My thanks to our production guru, Eric, for coming up with that in the show. He almost sent me into a fit last night when he brought that up. All right, last night. Jung Hoo Lee didn't miss any time. Thank goodness. He was out there patrolling right field, doing a good job. I think he's doing an exceptional job since he moved over to right. Tough right field at Oracle, as you know, Lou. But I cannot believe I am saying this on a Thursday morning, but we are honoring the sweet swing of one Patrick Bailey, a right-handed swing last night. He wins this. It wasn't a walk-off, but it was as good as late in the game, scoreless, boom. I don't know if I haven't joined the Patrick Bailey fan club as of yet. I don't know, rocking his shirt or anything. I didn't go out and buy a jersey, but we'll take it. He won the game. He always seems to swing the sweet stick against the Dodgers, Lou.
Yeah, he's got their number. And, hopefully the big emotional win last night can bring it today. And, the place should be rocking. Probably another sellout, And Giants go for the sweep, try to start off the homestand 3-0, and try to make it 6 out of the last 7 games. 6-1 in the last week we could possibly do if we can win today. So, but it won't be easy. Dodgers,
Lou, obviously, when you win ball games, you're doing it because you've scored runs. You can arguably say you've done it with the bat, but I'll take it a different stance. We're winning it with defense, Lou. We're just, we're eking out enough runs when we're winning these games. These haven't been barn burners, offensively against the Dodgers the last couple. We're on a 2-game win streak. Let's not all get carried away. But the key was we shut them down. 3 hits Tuesday. 4 hits last night. That's 7 over 2 games, one of the hottest, hitting teams in baseball. You got to take that and roll with it, Lou. And the play we brought up last night of Luis Ariz, thank you very much. I said he would pay dividends.
I think the key, too, is top 2 hitters of the Dodger lineup, 1 for 8. Ohtani, of course, on Tuesday night, legged out a base hit. On Tuesday last night, he went 0 for 4 to stop the streak of him reaching the base. And Kyle Tucker hasn't done anything. So I think it's the Giants pitching have decided, hey, somebody else is going to beat him beside Tucker and Ohtani. So I think that's really why they're trying to go for the sweep, this afternoon. I think what's most importantly is the Giants pitching has survived And it's really come down to doing the basics, and defense has been phenomenal. If I'm going to do one negative about our defense, has been Bailey behind the plate with the ABS system. He was 0 for 2 yesterday. I think he was 0 for 1 the day before. He's got to figure that out. But the rest of the defense, phenomenal. Devers at first been phenomenal. Arias has been unbelievable. In fact, I don't know if Arias has done anything wrong this year. I think his fielding percentage is 1,000. So to tell you the truth, Glenn, you said it on last night's show, probably our Willie Mack Award winner. He's been great offense and defensively, and every game he's getting hit. So it's good to see. Professional hitter, probably since I was told last night, Lou, you still don't know what the hell you're talking about. I forgot to bring up Scudero, but Scudero was, more during the playoffs, not during the regular season. But, probably the best type of hitter, because Scudero, you got anything there, he would just put the ball, bat on the ball, and would create hits, create rallies. And that's sort of Arias is. He's exciting to go. And Eric's buddy, Devers, again, Tuesday night, he got a big hit. Last night, again, he got a big hit. So maybe Devers is coming out. I know Eric is in a good mood. Not only are the Giants doing good, but when his boy Devers does something, he's on a different level. So we're excited for Eric.
This is the morning report for Thursday. We're getting ready for Giants baseball. It's a matinee today right here on Giant Sports Talk Live. You can't see the logo, but I popped it up there. And we do not usually do this, Lou. I must add, on the morning show, we do not usually jump into a reminder of our sponsors, but there are some of them. Let's take a quick break. There's nothing like an 8 a.m. margarita, Lou. And then you and I will come back and we'll take a look at what is going to be. For some teams, it's a travel day. For the Dodgers, it is. Several other teams. So not a full slate of games, but there are some dandies coming up tonight and this afternoon. So let's take a look at that after we take a break, and remind you the show today is brought to you by our very good friends. Where?
Tommy's Mexican on 24 San Francisco.
And there is one of our proud sponsors and our featured sponsor lately, Tommy's, home of the great Tommy's Margarita. And as we like to say here at Giant Sports, well, we don't usually say this, but don't panic. We have our ups and downs. It was a rough start, but here we are. We're looking. Oh, Eric looks petrified. Do you see Eric up there, Lou? Eric looks petrified.
Biting his nails. Oh, yeah.
He chewed those down to a nub. He's petrified. But don't worry, Eric. We're going for the sweep today. It is going to be a fun day of baseball as the Giants wrap things up with the Dodgers and some other fun-filled games. So, Lou, let's get into it. Here are the games elsewhere around Major League Baseball. And yes, Lou, I'm starting to figure out it's Thursday, April 23rd. We got Atlanta, Washington, J.R. Ritchie, and Cade Savali. You know what? Each year there's a couple of teams throw these names at me, and I don't know if they're rookies or I don't know where they came from, but I never heard of J.R. Ritchie, or at least I don't remember him. I don't know about you. Cade Savali, it seems like he's pitching every third day anyway.
Yeah,
Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta, Washington. Milwaukee's at Detroit. Brandon Sprout. Oh, look at Tarek Skubal. That's going to be a tough day for Milwaukee, but that should be a good matchup, Lou.
Yeah. You know what? Today's not a full slate, but there are some stud pitchers. So, that always interests me a little bit. But, Skubal, who's bounced back after that horrible start, on the opener. Is now 3-2, and his ERA is already back down to 2.08. So, they each have won a game of the series, and now Detroit's going to try to win the series of School Bowl, and they got their race on. So it'll be good to see. Nice early game for us when you go. So nothing wrong with School Bowl.
No. 11:20 start. You see Philadelphia's taking on Chicago. There's a Philadelphia team, Lou, that I have yet to figure out. Talent laden at the bat. They got the stick, but 8-16 record. They're looking for the 9th win of the year against the Cubs at Wrigley today, Lou.
Yeah, and I believe they've lost 8 straight. So now they have the longest losing streak after yesterday. As we know, the Mets finally won after losing 12 straight. So now it's Philly's problem. And what scares me about this is the Giants go back there next week. So hopefully, we don't catch them on the rebound where they start winning and then we have to go into Philly. Hopefully they're still down. But, the Cubs are playing good ball. Cubs 10-5 at home. They've won 6 in a row at home. So, another team we got to compete with the wild card later on in the year.
Yeah, and you and I talked about it last night, and it's Murphy's Law, if you will. A team, and again, we'll talk about it in a minute, this Dodger team, 7 hits over 2 games. They could break out in a big way. But you and I talked about it last night, 2 nights ago. Yeah, 2 nights ago, Lou. When you and I were doing the show and Eric was traveling back to Galt, you remember we were talking about teams that we play, we get out of Dodge, and then all of a sudden they go, they scoring 10 and 15 runs and winning games, and you know what? It's baseball, man. So you just win your game. And I like to tell Eric all the time, just take care of your own business. Let the rest
Correct.
sort itself out. San Diego and Colorado. It's Waldron versus Feltner, guys, as you see on the screen there, as we break this one down just a little bit. Padres, Lou, didn't mention it. I don't know if you and Eric did on the show last night. I didn't bring it up. San Diego have added Giolito to the pitching staff, and the Padres are up there tied with the LA Dodgers in the American League.
I thought it was a huge signing. Only 1 year with an option, only $3 million. I guess the Giants didn't feel they could afford it after they bought the current theater. But but for $3.1 million to get an arm like that. And the one good thing about San Diego is, again, they're making moves early in the season. They realize they need a starter. It's only $3 million.
Sure.
If mid-season they don't need him, they can always trade him, But I think that's a good pick for them because you know what? He's a guy that has not been in the National League West, so he's going to be a challenge for all of us. And he's a good arm when he's on. Yeah, he's tough. So.
Tell you one thing, Lou. AJ Preller is the GM there in San Diego. He does this habitually. Gets into April. Sometimes it'll be early May. He's not afraid to pull a trigger and make a move to make the team better. We saw that when he picked up Luis Arraez, who we are now fortunate to have. So he's a good guy to have as a GM, and I like the moves he's making. San Diego, Colorado today. That one gets underway at 12:10. Later on, Chicago Sox up against Arizona. You see the pitching matchup there. We've got New York at Boston. Schlittler. I like to call him. I don't know if Lou remembers Darryl Sittler. You remember Darryl Sittler?
I don't remember Darryl. I just know how good this guy is. Former Toronto guy, but this guy's the best pitcher for the Yankees right now. He's been everything they wanted and more. And in that game, Yankees going for a 3-game sweep at Boston. Boston has sort of been discouraged by the Yankees pitching. 2 straight shutouts, 3 straight for the season, but 2 straight in the series, and now they got to face him. Boy, good luck, Boston. And it's one of those things where a lot of the heavy hitters. The Mets, Boston, they're just not doing good right now. They're not out of the gate good to start the season.
Yeah, and again, the Red Sox are so befuddled right now playing the Yankees that they don't even know who they're sending to the hill. So they'll figure that out. Hopefully in time for the game. Might be giving you a call.
Hopefully.
Minnesota, New York, holy cow. 3-2. The streak is over. Stop the press. Armand Armand's not even tuned in. You notice that? And Mark this morning?
Yeah.
Because they're resting, sleeping easy now. But they're back at it today, Minnesota, New York. Maybe you know what? Probably the Mets start another losing skid. You never know. Pirates, Texas, with Chandler and DeGrom in that one. Let's get to the main course, the main meal, if you will. We had the appetizers. Now, Dodgers, San Francisco, right here in Giant Sports Talk Live. Let's talk about it, Lou. Tyler Glasnow, Logan Webb. There's two tails of the tape as far as I'm concerned. Great pitching matchup. And you would think if Logan Webb is the ace everybody in our chat seems to think he is, that he can shut them down. But I am concerned, Lou, as I said and I stated in the show with you and Eric last night, when you have limited the Dodgers' big bats, one for 8, and as a roster, they only have 7 hits through the first 2 in this series. Something's got to give today, Lou. What do you expect?
Boy, when we did the show last night, I really thought I picked the Giants in dramatic fashion 4-3. But the more I thought about it, listening to your logic this morning, the Dodgers are getting ready to bang a little bit. And I'm a little bit worried where the Giants, the last 2 games, have sort of gotten lucky. Bailey's big hit. When you think about it, the Giants had Bailey's 3-run homer on Wednesday night. On Tuesday, they scored all the runs in the first inning. So really, their offense hasn't done much. And it's really more because of Yamamoto and Ohtani. I just have a feeling Glasnow is going to say, okay, guys, I got you. This is why you guys got me. I think Glasnow is going to be very tough. I'm thinking maybe more 4-0, 4-1 Dodger win. I really think Glasnow is that tough.
Wait a second.
The more I thought about it. Yep.
Oh, hold on. What happens if I decide to, hey, I'll go to the ballpark late today. And remember, it gets underway at 12:45, right, Lou? So if I give you a couple hours and we do a pregame show, what will your prediction be then? Because 4-0 isn't what you told me last night.
Last night was different. I had a whole night to sleep on it, and I realized how well Glasnow has been pitching. And really, when I thought about it, I forgot the Giants on Tuesday night only scored in the first inning. And then last night, they only scored in the 7th inning on the 3-run homer of a right-handed Bailey. So really, their offense has not really done much. And now they're going up against another stud in Glasnow. I think he's going to shut the Giants down. Webb's been sort of shaky. So, again, 4-1 Dodgers win.
You're not going to be happy with me. I'm not changing from my prediction last night, Lou. Do you remember what I said last night? Giants 7, Los Angeles, or I'm sorry, LA 7, Giants 2.
Yeah, so we're both on the same way. It's tough to sweep a team to begin with.
It's baseball, Lou. It's baseball, and
correct.
It's a numbers game, Lou. It's a numbers game, and again, I look at that Dodger lineup and I say, geez, you've limited them to seven freaking hits, Lou.
Yeah,
you shut them out last night. 7 hits over 2 games. You shut them out last night. Their big bats haven't done anything. I mean, this is Mount Vesuvius ready to erupt.
I agree.
Just the way I feel. I know there's going to be guys in here like, what the hell's he talking about? Don't forget, big win last night. We were salivating about it in the post game. It was a great. We had a lot of fun, guys. The chat was cooking. I'd never seen Eric look like he was on that. There was more than coffee in that Mickey Mouse cup. He is
exactly
floating around. But don't forget, the Giants are 11-13. Colorado's holding down the final spot in the division, Lou, with a record of 10-15. So it's not like we're, like world beaters all of a sudden with a one big night at Oracle Park or 2 games against the Dodgers. I got to see more consistency out of this lineup.
Yeah, they got to be 500 before I've really thought of a change. I mean, these are the Giants where they play good and then all of a sudden, kaboom. The other thing, too, is, after the Dodgers, we all remember what happened when Miami came here last year. Miami swept us. It's going to be a big weekend. And, this team is going against Glasnow, and then they go against the ace and number 2 pitcher, Miami. So it's going to be tough. The next games, it's going to be very challenging for the offense to produce runs.
You think so?
Don't get rid of that. The old Shamrock. So
I figure you got a couple. Maybe you got one like I do now. I'm putting it on. I found a keychain. I'm just going to wrap it onto my keys. I always got one
there you
close.
go.
You got a couple of 4-leaf clovers in your pocket there for
yeah.
in times of need. All right, Lou, morning show. I'm not exactly wide awake yet, but I'm going to go listen to some tunes, wake up, have my morning coffee. I heard my microwave go off a few minutes ago. You like my new hat? Supporting the live music? Might throw on a little live.
Yesterday was Earth Day, so I like it. You got to support the live music, local
you
stuff.
Know, it's funny you mention that. You know who supports Earth Day? And I saw him last night at Oracle? Hunter Pence.
Well, standard.
There you go. He's out there. He had the shovels. He's talking about breaking and planting trees, and I don't know what else. I'm not volunteering for that project. Sorry, Hunter. I have got a lot on my plate, and I'm getting ready for something called Giants baseball today, Lou. 12:45 start. Catch it on NBC Bay Area. Tune in a little earlier. You'll get the broadcast on CanBR. And enjoy the game, Lou. I'll see you after the game.
Have fun out there. And we'll be here for the post-game show. Hopefully talking about a Giant sweep. But, sometimes we got to speak reality. Dodgers are tough to sweep, and it's tough to keep a Giant down. So we'll see. Let's see if Webb is actually the ace that everybody in the chat thinks he is.
Bingo. Well, you know what the chat was saying last night after one swing of the bat from Bailey? If they lose tonight, Lou, I expect they'll be right back down in the pit of the Vipers where they've been hiding, right?
That's why they're fans. They live on the moment, not reality.
Amen, brother. Amen. Yep. Well, you enjoy the game too.
I will do.
And you know what? If it doesn't work out, I think we're going to see a little more of this.
Yeah. Classic Abraham. And then who's that to the right checking out? That's the great Eric.
At first, I thought it was the great Eric, but that guy's a few gray hairs poking out there. Gray hairs,
yeah. It's probably working with us. That
That's being a Giant fan. That's being a Giant fan.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Lou, I'll get you after the game and the post game tonight. I'll get back from Oracle Park just as quick as I can to join you and Eric. And then I don't care. I'm going live tomorrow night because I think there's going to be a lot to talk about one way or the other. You won 2, maybe lost the game today, or it's a sweep. It's going to be one or the other, Lou. If it's a sweep, we're going to have lots to talk about. If they lose, I'm sure the chat will be right back to its vicious ways again. So I'll catch you.
Put some lotion on that beautiful face of yours. Don't get fried. I don't want to see you on the post game all red.
Dude, I'm getting too much sun. Good to hear you're sounding good this morning. You must have had some
a lot better
honey in that coffee. You got the coffee? I thought I saw coffee going early this morning.
Eats. I got to get them as a sponsor. They're my favorite right down the road.
I need my coffee. I'm going to do that now. All right, Lou, see you on the post-game show following the Giants and Dodgers today, right here on Giant Sports Talk Live.
You've been watching the Giant Sports Talk Live Morning Report, a Northern Lights Entertainment production.